Good night, everybody, and welcome to the fifth. I know it's Wednesday night. I know, and I usually have the fifth on Tuesday nights, but tonight is a special episode, and it's not always about me. When I have a guest on my show, I work with their schedule, and tonight I want to introduce you to my special guest, Miss Amiyah Ferguson. All right, how you
Hello.
doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the fifth. I appreciate you taking the time to come out and hang out with me for however long. All right. So I thank you. Thank you for your time.
Of course, no problem.
We're going to jump into this and just get it started. So I'm going to allow Miss Ferguson to introduce herself in her own way because, I mean, that's just the best way to do it. So go ahead and tell the people about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Amaya Ferguson. I'm a high school graduate of Timberland High School out of St. Stephen, South Carolina. Currently, I am a student athlete at TSU, Tennessee State University. This is my junior year. And, I'm just happy to be here, ready to get started, ready to talk more, and just let y'all get to know me.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So you said you're out at Tennessee State. So tell us about how you got to Tennessee State or what attracted you to Tennessee State.
Definitely one of the main pieces was that Candace Dupree is my head coach. So Candace Dupree
Yay!
is if you don't know, a former WNBA player. She played 14 years in the WNBA, seven-time All-Star, two-time WNBA champ. Collegiately, she played for Temple under Dawn Staley. So I feel like she just has a lot of great knowledge, especially me playing the point guard position, just being an extension of her on the court. Yeah, and just the opportunity knowing that, I want to play. Like, I love basketball. I want to be on the court. I want to impact. I want to win games. And I feel like we have a great chance of winning a championship, the OVC championship this year, and being able
Yes.
to make the NCAA tournament. So those were keys in me choosing Tennessee State
That,
University.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Those are major keys, major
Yes.
keys. That's awesome. So since you've already been there, you've been with Ms. Dupree. So far, being at Tennessee State, what is something super valuable that you have already gained just being there?
Just like how much like playing free and just having joy and playing basketball like just allows you to be like a much better player. Like at my other schools, like I wasn't really having the joy that I have now. And like you can tell like in my like productivity. So like now that I'm here, like I'm like there's joy coming in every day at practice. Like we're all competing. And like that's what I love here. Like it's actually fun and like we get to just compete at a high level daily. So that
Yeah, that's awesome. It's just like I had this conversation like with my students at school and I was just telling them like I love coming to work. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going somewhere and you don't have joy, you don't feel like going, then kind of feels like you don't have any purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you ended up in a place where you feel like you're free to be you while you're still learning. And then I mean you're learning from the best of the best. So I'm glad that you find enjoyment. I mean, for those of y'all that don't know, like I coach basketball, right? And I coach the team here, and she played on the opposite team, and she's the truth. I mean, it's the reason why I wanted to have her on my court. She's young, she's vibrant, she's the truth. Let me tell y'all, this girl works so hard. She works extra hard. I swear, like her family is like her personal bloggers. She just, you know what I'm saying? She just works so hard. If you're on here, thanks for joining. Go ahead and drop some comments. I'm gonna see it. I'll share it with her, and then I will go for there. So let's start this off and let's just talk about your faith, right? Because I know faith is a big part of you. I can tell that it is. I see that it is, right? So let's just talk about how does faith impact you playing basketball. Talk to me about like how it impacts your consistency, your integrity, being an athlete, your resilience of just having to go through like pressures or just expectations. How does that help you make it through?
So I feel like faith is definitely big, especially with basketball, like just helping me to stay grounded. Like daily, like every day I read my Bible. I read a couple verses every day. And it just helps me to stay grounded, like helps me understand like God is always gonna come through, even when it, doesn't look like it's on the up and up. Like he's always gonna come through and turn things around. And like you said, like I'm very faith based. I grew up in the church. My dad, he plays keyboard, sings gospel music. My grandma is a pastor. So just knowing that, knowing the background, like, like growing up, I just had to, like, not saying I had to be in church, but like my parents were going, my grandma was going, so it was like, I had to be there. But going through, different things, like you start to figure out that relationship for yourself. So just understanding that God is always there, as long as you keep him at the forefront, like he'll always come through in miraculous ways. So definitely he's been like, faith has been real big on my journey, because especially in college, like I've had a up and down like battle. So God has been the one consistent thing through it all. So he's definitely helped me through all my highs and all my lows.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that. He definitely comes through when you need him, especially, I mean, being a young athlete, being away from home, like we all got to grow up, of course, and you go off. Some people stay, some people go. But when you're away and your family's not right there for you to reach out and touch him, definitely faith is a thing that brings you through. So do you have any moments in your collegiate career, even if you could think back to being in high school, a moment when you were just tested and you just had to rely so heavily on your faith?
I would say my, I would say last year, my sophomore year, with me just not playing, like not getting any playing time, honestly, like not getting any playing time. And that was hard for me, knowing that I was coming in daily, working out before practices, and then I was coming later on in the evenings, working out again, and just like not getting that opportunity. But like my whole thing was, if when and if God presents the opportunity, I'll be ready. So, every game
Sure.
went by and I always felt like I was never going to get the opportunity. And then it was like maybe like the fifth to last game of like our regular season before the Atlantic 10 conference. And I finally got an opportunity,
Right.
and it was like my best game, like the whole, not the whole season, but like the whole year after the January calendar started. So it was like late February, and I finally got an opportunity, and I was ready, and I was knocking down shots, making big plays, helping my team come back. We didn't end up getting the win, but I definitely made plays, and it was just like the opportunity came and I was ready. And that was just like me constantly like journaling, like talking to God, like just making sure like he stayed on me and stayed in me, like telling me to
Right.
just stay prepared, stay ready, even though it was hard, because it was hard. Like you're preparing is like you're never going to get the opportunity. Your
Right.
practices are great, and it just seems like it's never going to work. But like I said, just praying constantly that I
Yes.
just stay on track and just stay ready for when my name is called.
Right. And that's awesome because they always say you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But I like that you said God is not just on you, what I'm saying, like he's in you. So that's really important, that you just said like you don't just talk the talk, you walk in the walk. When you meet with those challenges of, I know how hard it is to sit and practice hard and you just feel like your number's never going to get called. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you have God and you have faith, and you know that He brought you there for a reason, So I commend you for that, just sticking through it. That definitely speaks to your faith and your resilience. So that's good. And I commend you for that. And I mean, I know you're going amazing places. You are, especially just having faith in God. He's just going to carry you through. So, just keep that faith. So let's jump into these people that we call big time motivators. When I say family, tell me what family means to you.
Family means a lot to me. Like I don't even say like I have friends. Like, I just consider everybody family. Like I enjoy being around my family. That's why like college is like a little tough, because like I love being around my family like 24/7. Like any chance we
Yeah.
get to go home, like some college kids they'll be like they're staying at school. Like I'm going home. I'm going
Right.
home. I want to see my grandma. I want to see my grandparents. I want to see my family. I want to see my brothers, my nieces, my nephew, like everybody. So family means a lot. Like they're always supporting me, whether I'm doing all this. Like I had a really great freshman season, and they were supportive. Sophomore season wasn't that good. They were still supportive. They still showed
Yes.
up. Like they came
Yes.
to a game in North Carolina where I played 2 minutes, and it was
Right.
about 50 of them,
Right.
and they still showed up regardless. So like
Yeah.
family means a lot to me. Just always having somebody that you can depend on regardless of the situation.
Right. That's awesome, man. Like, it's one of the things that I tell people is it is so important when you have family. Like, I pray for people that do not have great family connections. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, there's some people that's like, I'm not going home. And you're like, yo, I'm running home. Get me there as quick as you can get me there. Because, that's my foundation. That's like my backbone. So I know that your brothers are ballers, right? Talk about how they push you just growing up, having big brothers, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play this game. How did they like motivate you? What did they instill in you? Like, how did they push you to just keep following this dream?
Well, definitely, I would say my brothers is definitely why like I'm like a tougher type player. Like growing up, especially my oldest brother, like he still plays to this day. Like every Sunday he opens the gym. But like I was like 8 years old playing against like 30-year-olds. Like he would just take me
Wow.
to different parks, take me to different gyms, and we would just play. And at first being younger, like the only thing I would do is just shoot. So like he'll pass it to me, like, give me open and I just shoot the ball. But as time got on and I grew up, I started taking it to the rim. And then like it's definitely helped me like with just like finishing like through and like around contact, like just being able to maneuver, like being able to hang in the air a little longer than other girls normally aren't because you're playing with guys. You have to figure out how to get your shot off, different things like
Right.
that. So it's
Excellent.
definitely instilled a different toughness in me. Like I said, I don't feel like I play like a typical girl. I feel like I play more like a boy type
Hmm.
style. And a lot
Yeah.
of people don't like saying they play like a boy, but I feel like I feel like I play like a boy. And then yeah, definitely instilled a different toughness in me and just like different confidence, just knowing if I can compete against these guys, like you're not gonna face girls that's this athletic,
Facts.
this quick, just off of just natural ability,
Yeah.
and just even like defense, like their feet are quicker. They're just them putting their forearm on you, like that'll bump you off your path of where you're going. So different things like that. So I feel like just them taking me to different courts, different gyms has definitely helped and shaped me as a player that I
Yeah.
am today.
That's awesome. And that's good. You know what I'm saying? Because they obviously see it in you if they're going to be like, yo, let's go ball. They're
Yeah.
not leaving you behind. And like you said, here you are today playing for Tennessee State. And like you said, you can go back and be like, they've been taking me. Like I've been doing this. So I'm here. It's not by accident. Like I feel watching you like you're supposed to be here. Like I said, you just have an amazing work ethic. And I see posting your work and posting what you do. Right. So with that motivation, your family are your biggest cheerleaders, but I also see you doing something very important, and that's when you come home, you give back. Talk to me about that.
Yes, it's definitely big for me to give back. Like I know like this summer, like I definitely want to do a camp back home. So just like knowing like we didn't really have a lot of people coming back home. Like growing up, when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of people coming back. So, just being able to be something that I didn't see growing up like that. So just
Right.
being an outlet, like definitely like where I come from, like not a lot of people make it, not a lot of people just even like go to college. So just being, like I always say, I want to just be motivation to what can be done if you just work hard and keep your faith strong.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I mean, like you said, you didn't see it growing up. So it's important, and I commend you for saying, you know what, I didn't see it growing up, but you have something to give. Absolutely. And it's not about being cocky. I know I have something to give, and I'm going to come back and give it to my community because, like a lot of ballers say, it's important when little kids, little girls, even the teenagers, especially, see you coming back and they see you flourishing, and then you still make time to come back here and pour into them. And that's important. And I know that you are definitely changing the lives of some of those kids that come to the camp, and they always say it may not be everybody, but it could just be one. And even the teenagers that look up to you. So, like we said, it's nice for little brown girls to see little brown girls doing great, everybody. So it does that. So, as you have moved through the environments, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, but you said you're a student athlete. And I love that you say that. I played basketball in college as well. And I always try to tell people, like, there's some people that feels like they're athletic students, but I'm glad that you said you're a student athlete. Okay. So being a student athlete, keep like how do you keep your values intact, and how do you manage being an athlete and then being a student and then just being a young lady all together in a sport where you're playing this sport, but people could look at you in a different way. I heard some guy say, a guy posted on something the other day and said, the girls want to be compared to the guys. And then somebody said, yeah, do they really? And he was like, I feel the same way about the situation, but when I say we, it don't resonate the same. So how do you move about in a world where basketball is growing for women, but it just seemed like people want to disrespect what women are actually doing in this sport? How do you keep your values intact dealing with people like that if you've ever had to deal with it?
Honestly, like they said, the game of basketball is growing on the women's side, and I watch men's and women's basketball. But like, I'm not going to say I enjoy watching women's basketball because I am a women's basketball player, but like I actually do. Like it's just more fundamentally sound. Like you can go out there and you can like really understand. Like you can see like the different schemes and stuff that they're running. Like the men's side, I feel like it's more like just hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
just everybody just out there, getting buckets like that. I feel like the women's, it's more like let me get you open. Like it's more like team wise. More, I
Yeah.
feel like the men's is more individualized. So that's why I love watching the women's better, especially because I'm a team player. Like I'm gonna get a bucket, but I'm also make plays for my teammates. So that's why I like watching the women's game more than the men's.
Right. That's awesome. And I feel the same way. I feel like, I mean, I know even a lot of men, say they like watching women play basketball better. And it's not, and these men that I hear talking, it's not about being weird, it's just that they're like the women's game, like you said. Women seem to just value the sport and value being teammates. Like they want to do things the right way. It's not an alley. Yeah, we all love to see the dunks and we love to see the flashy plays. But like you said, they like the genuineness of the game. And a lot of men I know still say they like watching college versus
Yeah.
watching pro because they just feel like these college athletes are really grinding for the love of the game and it's not about the dollar. Even though I know we getting into this NIL phase and they're trying to phase it out, but I mean it's here. You know what I'm saying? So tell me a very well, let me not say a very. Tell me a lesson that the game of basketball has taught you that you just carry with you.
I would just say to value relationships. I feel like going through like this is my third school, so like I feel like every school, like I still have people I still talk to, especially my team from last season. Like I talked to almost everybody on the team. Like we all had great relationships, and it's like basketball is literally a game of like relationships and friendships that you can always use. That's like Coach Dupree in my space. Like she has connections professionally. Like I want to be a professional player. I want to play in the WNBA. So she has those connections. Like one call and you can literally be in the door.
Right,
And
right.
like I said, basketball is just all about relationships. So just valuing every relationship, like not trying to burn any bridges. Like you may have not had like a good type of like experience, but still, keep those people close, keep everybody close, still come in contact with them. Like I have a teammate who I just spoke to a couple weeks ago from my first school that I
Wow.
haven't spoken to like since I left, and she's overseas now in Greece, and she was like, by the time like I'll be ready to go play overseas or something like that, like she'll have already built relationships and that I can come to her to
Yeah.
like for agents and different things like that. So it's always like connections, like keeping those relationships, building those relationships and sustaining them.
Yeah. I fully believe it and I feel it. And I pray for you that you're fully gonna be WNBA overseas wherever you want to be. And it's not just because you be like, I wish the best for you. Like your grind and your hustle is so real. Like when I spoke to you, I said, I don't know what I want to title this. I really wanted to be like the work don't stop. Cause I swear it seems like the work don't stop for you. Like you just seem like you keep going and going and going, but that's the behind the scenes thing that they talk about that people don't see. So how important is it for you to say, I don't have to, everybody doesn't have to see my work in the light. Like what drives you to just say, I'm gonna grind, even when you have to sit on the bench? What made you say, I'm just gonna keep grinding? What do you see? What do you see that keeps you there?
um I don't know. I just feel like I'm just one person that like when the lights turn on, like it's just like I just turn into a different player. Like it's like an alter ego. So whenever I'm going to work out, like I go to work out really early and I go to work out really late because I don't want anybody to see me. So like when you
Right.
message me this morning, like I wake up 5 a.m. and I work out at like 5:45 a.m. And
Wow.
then I go back again later on, like later on tonight, I'll go back. So it's just like I just like being in the gym by myself, like just hearing the net going. Like I don't even really like to work out with music. Like I just like to hear the sound of the net going in. I mean the ball going in the net.
Right.
And so
Right.
just knowing that the work is going to pay off, like it's going to tell you whether you did it or whether you didn't. Like that sticks with me. It's going to tell you. So I don't have to show like show all my work. Like I'll show some work because sometimes it just motivates somebody else, or maybe,
Yeah,
I just feel like, maybe I should post it, build my following or something like that. But like I really don't like to post my workouts because like I know like eventually like the work is going to show. Like it's going to come a time. Like I said last season, I wasn't playing and the opportunity presented itself. Like it's going to come a time where like the
right.
work is going to tell on itself, and I'm going to be on the side of I did the work, so the results are going to be good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are doing the work, and I just, just keep going. You, like you said, there is somebody, like you said, you don't post all the time, but when you do, there is somebody that you're reaching. And it doesn't even have to be that you're reaching them about basketball. Like sometimes people just need to see somebody pushing for them to be motivated in life. You don't know who's watching your workouts and you're carrying them through. You know what I'm saying? So I just say, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. All right. So, like I said, before we go, because we're getting ready to wrap it up, I want to give you a word, and I'm just going to say one word. And then I want you to tell me what that word really means to you. It could be about
Okay.
basketball, your family, life, anything. You just go with it. All right. You
Okay.
ready? All right.
Yes.
Passion.
Passion. I'll say basketball. Like that's something I'm very passionate about. Like I tell people, I eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. Like I'll play
Mm.
basketball all day. I'll watch it all day. Like I watch film all day. I watch people working out all day. Watch their day in the lives. Like I just love basketball. That's something I'm very passionate about. Like I could talk about it all day with anybody. Like I
Right.
genuinely enjoy basketball. Like I feel like I have a very high IQ because I'm just always watching it. Like even if I'm not, like I'm getting better at basketball daily because even if I do take an off day where I'm not touching the basketball, I'm watching basketball or I'm
Right.
talking about basketball. Like I'm still, building my intelligence on it. So like basketball is something I'm very passionate about. Even after playing, like I believe I want to be a college coach. Just like the impact, because like my freshman year, my assistant coach had a really big impact on me. So basketball is something I'm very passionate about. I would say my relationship with God is something I'm very passionate about. Like I genuinely love God. Like after going through what I went through my freshman year, just mentally, and then being in California, my home in South Carolina, like I had to build that relationship with God. Like he was the only person that got me through that full year. Cause like
Right.
1 month in, and I was ready to go home
Right.
and
Right.
just not
That's
play.
good. That's good.
But
I was gonna
yeah, so
ask.
like yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you, because when you mentioned just eat, sleep, breathe basketball, like I know people that you're playing the game and you just see the game. You know what I'm saying? So you're like a coach on the floor at the same time. So I was gonna ask if you see coaching in your future. All right,
yes, I
here's the next
definitely
word. That's good. And you're gonna get there, man. I,
do.
I see big things for you. Let me just say that. I see big things for you. And let me jump to the comments right quick before I okay. Mona, let me put this up here so you can see it. It's your cuz. She said, okay, cuz, you are so
Thank
great.
you.
I love it. I love it. This is my coworker. I work with her, so I'm glad that she jumped on here. And it's my homegirl Tori. She said, keep going.
Thank
Keep
you.
going. Definitely giving some inspiration from some ladies on here. So here's the next word that I have for you. Character.
Character. Ooh, I love this word character. It's like I always tell people like you gotta have a good character, like just who you are at all times. Like you can't fake it. Like you can't fake your character. And I feel like I have a really good character. Like I'm easygoing. I'm easy to talk to. Like I'm a very positive. Like my coaches always say, like I'm always optimistic. Like I'm always positive every day. I have a positive attitude. Like just ready to work. And that's my character. Like that's something they expect every day because that's what I've shown since day one. So character I feel like is really big, and it can get you through like doors that you probably didn't feel like you was qualified for just
Mhm.
by being a genuinely good person.
Absolutely. Character will carry you very far. That's for sure. All right. Next word, balance.
Balance. I feel like this is good. Balance. I would say balance. I don't have really good balance with basketball in life, but it's just like I'm genuinely an introvert. So like I really don't like going out. But like, and I really love basketball. So I try to balance it like, sometimes I'll take myself on like a self-care day where maybe like, I go shopping, I get my toes done or something like that. Go out to take myself out to eat. But I
Right.
feel like balance is good for anybody. I feel like you need to know how to balance anything, even work in life. Like I feel like some people just work, 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 but you also need to find a way to sometimes just like call your friend and be like, hey, you want to go to the movie? Like something like that. Like I feel like balance is something that we all need, not just as athletes. Like we have to balance class and basketball. Like for me, that's never been hard because I'm going to get my work done. I'm going to get it done in advance.
Right.
So that when it's game time, I'm not stressing about having to submit this assignment by 11:59. Like it was already done 2 days ago. So yeah, but I feel like balance is something we all have to work on daily. That's something I have to work on, like I said, because I eat, sleep, breathe basketball. Like sometimes basketball is like my whole life, and I have to figure out like something else to do outside of that. So that's something I'm still working on. But
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you're transparent, so that's
yeah,
good. The thing about it is you know it, so you know you got to work on it.
yeah,
So Tori said, just like you said, character will open doors that knowledge can't. And it's just what they say, hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. All right, here comes the last word. The last word is legacy.
legacy. For me, that's something I've always thought of. Like, what would I want my legacy to be? And I wouldn't want it to be on any type of success. I would just want it to be on how I've impacted somebody else's life. Yeah, so just I would want my legacy to be like how I impacted somebody else's life, not anything on any of my successes or anything, but just how I impacted the next person in a great way. So I feel like every day, I'm trying to impact lives, and as time goes on, like that will be what people say my legacy is, not anything to do with basketball or anything, but just how I positively affected their life.
That's beautiful, because when you mention what you want your legacy to be, that definitely goes back to exactly what you said about your character. You know what I'm saying? The humility is just a beautiful thing. So I love it. So before I say my last words, is there any closing words that you would just like to share with the world?
Definitely. So I have these customized shoes that I'm wearing on the to our game on Friday, our first home game, and it's a scripture. It's one of my favorite scriptures, Second Chronicles 15:7. And I feel like somebody may need to hear it, but be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. I feel like it's been a testament to my journey. Just always keep going, even if you don't know like when the next thing is going to come, the next big thing is going to come. Just keep going, because eventually it will come. Just stay patient, stay grounded, keep God at the forefront, and you'll see, why you had to wait, or why different things had to happen in order for you to obtain what you're about to obtain.
That's so beautiful. I love that. I'm sitting here, for those of y'all that don't know, I've known her since she was a little girl. So now I'm sitting here like this little girl is coming grown woman and giving all these wise words, and I love it. I love it. I'm proud of you. I am proud
Thank
of who
you.
you have become. I am proud of who you are becoming. Continue to stay grounded, and keep God at the forefront. Keep wanting to make an impact, right? So my words to you are, I want you to continue to let faith be your purpose. I want you to keep leaning on your family for your strength. And if it is his will, I pray that he continues to bless your gift, and let it be the gift that keeps on giving, because you have a beautiful expression of love.
Thank you.
So God bless you, and God bless everybody for listening. And before I go, let me catch this last comment. Yes, Tori, she is very wise. We're hearing it. Tori said your answers was like you were reading her mind, but it's beautiful. I thank you for coming on here. Like I said, I thank you for taking the time, and I wish you the best in basketball. I wish you the best in life, period.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All
Thank
right.
y'all for coming out. And as always, my future is forward. Your future is forward. Our future is forward. God bless everybody. Good night.